Okay, so the story in the film, as you noticed if you watched it, it's kind of framed between three meetings between the agent and the driver. The first one in the bar, which is what I'm going to analyze. The second one on the movie set, and that's where the driver talks to the actor. And then the third one is in the tunnel. By the way, that's filmed in LA. It's kind of fun watching this film because I know all of the locations on it. Um, that's neither here nor there, but it's kind of interesting. Um, and then the third one is in the tunnel after the driver has figured out what's really going on, that the wife is fleeing an abusive relationship, and he tells his friend where he can stick it. All right, so I'm going to show you some images of the notes. I'm going to go ahead and put these up as a PDF if you want to look at these a little more closely. I know that as a student, I found it very helpful to see how my professors or how professionals would take notes. So I'm going to make these notes available to you so you can look at them. So looking at page 1 and page 1B, the back, we're going to see what I've done is, I'm starting out with the idea of looking at color, and I'm just kind of watch the show real quick, the video, making some notes, and then on 1B, so the back, writing down my overall impression. Now this continues on to the top of page 2. But on top of page 2, I make this change right near the top. It says the wife is having an affair. Then in quotation marks, favor for a friend. This is a line from the bar scene. And the actor is callous and a bit too insistent about keeping his wife. The manager's negative comments about the actor being a jerk. So at this point, my idea changed. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to write about color. I'm going to write about these scenes between the agent and the driver. For this example, I'm just going to focus on this first scene, of course. Okay, so halfway through page 2, there's that scribbled out section. Then below that, I start doing an analysis of that first conversation with the agent. I decided I was going to look first at shot type, so close-ups and things like that, and then framing, where the faces are in the frame. And I'm going to recommend that you do something like that as well. Once you figure out, okay, I'm going to analyze this scene, then what are my tasks in analysis? Looking at framing, then looking at camera movement, then looking at color and light. It'll make your job much easier for yourself if you break it down into tasks. Right? So these notes continue there onto page 2B on the back. Again, you'll see how messy these are. And then on to about the top half of page 3. Then middle of page 3, I make kind of some notes for myself. Some of these notes are kind of for you, so you guys, trying to let you guys see what I'm doing. There's one in here I said there is no camera movement, and it was really interesting. I was looking at it again and I was like, yeah, there is some camera movement, especially in the first shot or two. It looks like it's handheld. So I'm going to go back and revisit that when I go to write up my analysis. I'm noting it here. I'm going to look at it later. And then from here, and then continuing on to page 3B on the back, I start making some notes about light and color, lighting and color. Interestingly enough, green does show up again in this sequence, so I'm able to bring that initial idea I had back into this analysis. And then at the bottom of page 3B and page 4, I come back and revisit it again and start thinking about race and gender, issues of race and gender. I want us to start looking at these kinds of things, right? Cultural messages, media messages do contain these ideas embedded in them. Sometimes they're obvious and sometimes they're not. So I wrote some of my notes down for those ideas, and that would show up in the write-up of the analysis.